Hey there, so today we have another Battle Beers, and this is between two macro lagers. It's actually been quite a while since I've done a video like this. Slightly inspired by Nate from Treehouse, who does awesome videos, including blind tastings of some macro lagers. He just did Bud Miller Coors, so really cool. There's no actual specific reason why I chose these two. It was just by chance I had them. This one was gifted because someone at work bought them, and I got a can, and he just gave me. And then this one was because I just was at Zvanzi Day, and decided at the end of the night that I was like, I could just use a beer at some point. I usually don't have macro lager set around in my house, but it is what it is. So I'm not doing it blind. I personally don't have any stake in this. I can tell you which one I've had more of, which is easily the PBR, because that's available in like dive bars in New York City and stuff. Well, even like dive-ish kind of bars down here. Ooh, not a perfectly clean glass. But then again, one pours way more foamy. Interesting. They came out of the same fridge, by the way. So I would not see a reason why specifically one of these is more like foamy than the other. But it's a good sign. This beer looks way better, right? The beer looks way better. Appearance-wise, jeez, let me see. This might be lighter, but they're pretty much exactly the same. Color-wise, this head is way better. So let's try out. Yeah, let's try them out. Grainy, sweet, almost like a little bit of like a floral, kind of like a rice action. Then again, I don't know if Labatt uses rice, but it has like a little bit of fruitiness in there, almost like a melon kind of ester or something. Maybe a slight hint of hop character, grassiness, but mostly grainy. Cheers. Ooh, so these have been sitting in the beer fridge. Not recommended. These macro lagers I generally recommend in the fridge. But then again, I guess I'm getting like a better representation of what really the beer tastes like. Grainy, sweet, maybe touch of hop character, hint of like metallic action going on. Pretty clean, dry. A little bit of sweetness riding on the back end, a little bit of rice cracker, and there's again, I'm not promising there's rice in here, but it has that perception as if there was, but that's just a grainy sweetness you get in these pale beers. So they're pretty good. Okay, yeah. Oh, noticeably different. Wow. This smells less fruity and more pure of like light grainy malts. So more light puffed rice Krispies, Wonder Bread, like maybe some ester action in here as well. Maybe a little bit palm fruit, green apple. Cheers. Reasonably similar. Well, obviously, like these are reasonably similar. But yeah, I can certainly. I feel that like light green, appley kind of ester thing is a little bit more perceived here. It could be ester or acetaldehyde, but maybe I don't know. A little bit lingering of that like macro lager character on the back end. Yeah, and then noticeable hint of that kind of like the beer's not skunked, and I don't want to use the word skunk, but it has this kind of like wet dog or like that funky macro beer flavor, like American macro beer flavor specifically. Nice grainy sweetness in there too. A little bit of hot bitterness in the back end too. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So now I'm getting a little of that macro flavor too. I would say, just general perception, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. I bet even in a triangle test, I would have a hard time myself. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I should have done this triangle. As in triangle, basically, by the way, if you guys don't know. Is there ways to full blind yourself? I could have full blind just 1-2, but the problem is with that, you get a 50-50 chance. When you do 2 of 1 and 1, they call it triangle, and that's what like professionals actually use. You're gonna get it's a lot harder. Like your odds of getting your 50-50 odds like plummet down to 33%, and then it's also a little bit more accurate. I think like. I guess why they scientifically use like sensory panels at professional breweries, they use a triangle test instead of 50-50 to see what perceivably is better. So general perceptions wise, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference, but really dissecting them, this one tastes almost like a Japanese rice lager. And this has more of that like green appley, kind of like Budweiser macro American flavor going on. Are they light beers? So it's 4.7, so pretty much full strength. Like light beer is like 4.2. At least Budweiser sits at that. And then the finest PBR, I believe, is a 5% beer, but these are one of the things I have to Google. I have to Google what the ABV on PBR is. It's either 4.7 or 5. It's not a light beer. It's a full strength. As in, like, light, blah, 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 light versus, like, blah, blah, heavy. Yeah, doesn't even say. Anyway, same thing. 4.7, 5, whatever. Somewhere around there. Let's try again before I... Okay. Yeah. I feel the Labatt's just a hair lighter. I sort of like that. Even though I'm not a fan of like Bud Light, like light beer, it just has a levity to it, and I associate it a little bit more with that kind of like puffed Rice Krispies thing that I seem to tend to get a little bit in. Then again, I think Kirin is a full malt beer, but it seems to have a lighter, softer malt profile. I could just be crazy. Yeah, this has this light, metallic-y, macro-y thing, and it has a little bit of aftertaste to it. I want to say I like this more, but like we're talking, like on a good day, I would say I have a hard time picking between the two. So I'm right now I'm in a quote unquote good day, and I feel like I like this just a hair more, but you're fine drinking both. So final conclusion: tonight I prefer this one a little bit more in this situation, but in general I don't think you're doing bad drinking either of these. For macro lager, these are both actually pretty good. Like these are pretty warm. Like I probably have these at like 40. Let's see. I really need to buy a thermometer. I want to say I have this at like 40, 45 degrees, and nobody's drinking macro lager at those temperatures. Those are craft beer temperatures, and they both taste pretty good. So until next time, guys, let me know what you think. Tonight, Labatt wins by a hair, but in general, for you guys and myself and most people out there, same thing. Like this, you're not really winning by like finding the hair differences between these two beers. They're very, very similar macro lagers. Until next time, cheers. Let me know if you like these, because I will. I'll probably like go to the store and buy a few. It's been a long time before I did. It's probably like 10 years since I did one of these macro blinds. And Nate from Treehouse is an inspiration, and they're fun. Not that it really matters, because in the end, like, excuse me. You're splitting hairs. Like, I don't think you're like really like, oh my god, the revelation is like Coors is that much better than Budweiser. What a spoiler! That's one of the videos. But it's like, no, you're not winning by like choosing one that's just a hair better. These are very, 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 very similar beers that are not very good. And the great thing about craft is finding those beers around 4 or 5% and just tasting them and just going like, oh my god, like what are we doing? Like what is the world doing? Like, there are beers that have just infinite amount of flavor. Obviously they cost a little bit more, and they can actually be somewhat cost competitive, but there's just so much more flavor in craft versus these macro blah blah blahs. So in the end, you're not really winning. But if you guys are curious, want me to tell you what I think and what's better, or what this tastes like, what that tastes like, I'll do it. But until next time, cheers. Later. Final result. This one's by hair. They're even. Same stuff. You're drinking macro lager. You're not really winning in any chance, but it does its job. So, I mean, hell, I had a fiending for it last night. So that's me, craft beer guy, reviewing beers all the time, advanced blah, blah, blah. Until next time, cheers. Later.